Welcome back everybody to Technique Tuesday. Today I am going to use some leather dye and show you how to create patterns. Something like this floral watercolor abstract pattern, or even just this random abstract pattern. What I'm using is some EcoFlow today and some EcoFlow water stain colors. So let's talk about what we need first. We need a piece of veg tan leather. You need to cover your workspace so that when you make a mess, it's easy to clean up. You're going to need some water, your dye, and I've got mine down into smaller containers because these containers don't have a pour lid. I've got a car sponge from the dollar store that I've cut up into smaller pieces. Gloves, absolutely necessary. Got some paper towels and some hand wipes. And I've got cotton balls, Q-tips, and these cute little small sponges that come with this little grabber thing so you can hold the little small sponges. So some of these items we're going to use when we do a smaller version of this. So don't think you have to go big. You can go small, or smaller, or smallest. So if you make earrings, you can also do this technique on earrings. You just need to use smaller items. So let me set those aside, move this out of the way, let you look at that one last time. And we'll set those to the side. Now I am going to wet my leather, but I may not wet it again, which a lot of people are going to go, no, you have to keep it wet to keep the color absorbing into it. The reason I say I may not is some of these colors, I don't want them completely diluted. I do want some of it to stay. So depending on how the colors are reacting will determine if I want to use some water to wet it down or not. You'll see as we go along. So I've got a little container to hold my colors, and I put some red in the first one, and I'm using red, purple, and yellow today. Actually, it's deep violet. My apologies. And I use these little sponges for the earrings that I just made. This is a collection of several colors together. It's yellow, it's orange, and it's purple. Or sorry, yellow, red, and purple. And I just kind of let them sit in there and merge together. And in the back corner, I have some green that I made. I don't have green dye for some reason, so I made some. Remember, yellow and blue make green, so that's what I did. Now, I'm probably going to need some more of this since I'm doing a bigger piece, but we're going to start there. And I'm going to grab some cotton balls or a sponge, whichever you prefer. So I think because I'm doing a round shape, I'm going to use cotton balls. So for this pattern, I actually started by putting the purple down first, and then I also came back and put more purple down later. But that was the starting point, the kind of the center of my flowers. So that's what I'm going to do here, just kind of give me a starting point. Then let's see, let me go grab some red and yellow. Now the yellow is definitely a color that has to sit and shine through. It doesn't always look yellow when you put it down, but give it a little bit of time and it will turn more yellow. So I'm just taking my Q-tip, or excuse me, cotton ball, and I'm dabbing around the centers of my flowers. And this does not have to be precise. This is kind of very random, very messy, and that's what it's supposed to be. So I want a little bit more that's actually yellow, and I took my spot where my yellow was away from myself. So let's just improvise here. And I'm just going to pour some yellow out here. And I'm just going to keep going with my pattern. And this one that I'm doing today is going to be similar, but not the same as the pattern that I did the other day. Even if I had done it just hours later, it would still be different. And that's okay. So I think I need some more yellow here. Now I use these pieces that I color for a variety of things. I use them for purses, wallets, chapstick holders, earrings. So just like I'll put a pop of color inside of a wallet with a piece like this, or use it for the outside of a purse. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to take a little bit of my scarlet red and go further out. Don't be organized, be messy, be random. And I think I'm going to need some more yellow. And even if you're not liking how it's turning out right now, you're like, oof, I'm just making a mess, keep going. You'd be surprised at what you end up with in the end. So just I'm going to fast forward this a little bit so that you don't have to sit here watching me do the same thing over and over again. But all I'm going to do is just keep going with my 3 colors. Just keep layering it on and making my flowers bigger and bigger. Now, for the look I'm going for, I feel like this red is a little too strong. So I am going to take my water bottle and dilute it down a little bit. Let that sit for just a minute. And then go back in with a lighter color, such as my yellow. Looks like I had some purple on my hand and started a whole new flower over here. So let's just go with it. Let's just make a little one over here. And don't forget, we are going to put some green leaves in between this. And yellow and blue makes green. So I used a navy blue water stain and my sunshine yellow EcoFlow and just mixed those two together and got green. And it's kind of dark, so let's lighten it up a little bit more with some more yellow. And again, you're just being very random with your leaves. And nothing says you have to cover this whole space. You can leave some blank areas if you want to, or cover the whole space. It's totally your decision. I think I'm going to make some more green there. Always tighten the lid, finger on it, shake it. And then this one has a nice pour spout, so I do like that. Ooh, too much blue. Well, that's all right. We'll just put quite a bit of yellow with it. Let's see how we're doing on that color. And sometimes you can just take the edge of your Q-tip and just dab it in there like you would random leaves, or just take the whole thing and mash it down. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side and let that dry a little bit, and we'll come back to it and see how it's doing. Remember, I said some of the colors, it just takes a little bit for the color to come through, so I'm going to give it a chance. The other piece that I did, this was more of taking the cotton balls and just dabbing them straight down. Just mash them down, and then you can combine your colors. I hate wasting, so I always try to use up all of the dye that I've poured out. I'll grab a piece of just leather that I have laying around and decorate it versus waste. Let's see, this looks like it needs a little more purple on this side, lacking the purple. And I just poured the purple on top of the red to give me a purpley red. So set that aside. And if I wanted to make that more of a flower look, I could keep going and build out my flowers and then put some leaves on it. So let's go back to what we started with. And I still think it's a little harsh on some of the colors, so I'm going to wet it down again and let those colors kind of blend more together. And if you want, just take a plain cotton ball and pull some of these colors out and blend them. Might have left it a little too long, but that's okay. So now, still got more of my yellow that I want to use. This one's lacking a little bit of red. Let's use that up. And still have quite a bit of green left, but it's still think that green's a little off. So these are the EcoFlow ones that don't have a pour lid to them, and that's why I like putting them in these little containers so I can squirt them out. These are just, oh gosh, I think I got them on Amazon. They're just little, I don't know, probably what, ounce, 2 ounce little squeeze bottles. Let's go ahead and put some more green. Getting close to saying I'm done. Okay. What do you think? I think beautiful. I think I need another one right there. I know. Can't make up my mind, can I? So let me grab my purple, put a little dot there. You see that my cotton balls are still wet. They still have absorbed and will release the color. So I'll just keep going with these random ones that I have. Use your finger, use cotton tipped if you want to kind of spread the color around. Nothing's off limits. I think I like the cotton balls better. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So now let's move on to our cute little earrings. These are adorable. So, wet it the first time. Let that sit. While that's sitting, I'm going to pour some of my colors out. So a little bit of purple. And for these little earrings, you really only need a little bit of color. Let's do a drop of red. And it's easy to do a drop with these little droppers. I'm just going to drop my cotton tip swab into the paint for the yellow. Ooh, let's turn this sideways. I'm sure you're all twisting your heads trying to look straight. Didn't realize I'd gone that far off center. Okay, so cotton tips are great. These little guys are great. They have this grabber hand that puts the sponge in it. I like to grab it where I have a corner of the sponge showing. Let's see, so that I can use that edge. And you can see I've got some other sponges that I've already used, so I'm going to go back to using them. This one had, whoops, let go. This one had yellow on it, so I don't want to contaminate my yellow, so I'm actually going to use a cotton tip for that. And I'm just going to put a little swirl. Or I could start like I did on my big piece and start with purple. A little in the corners, dab it right into the middle. And that's going to be the center of my flower. And then my cotton tip, putting my yellow, center this a little more for you, all around, over the purple, blending those two together. You're looking for soft lines, not sharp edges on the colors. I want the yellow to, or excuse me, the purple to pop a little bit more. Now let me take my little sponge that I had some red on, and I'm going to use the angles of it. Let's see if I can hold this a little closer for you. And I'm just making little soft petals around it. What you think? Pretty cool. Is the other earring going to match? Absolutely not. Are you going to get close? Absolutely. You're still going to use the same technique, same colors. So these are one of a kind, and that makes them beautiful. It's one of the things that makes them beautiful. Okay, let's test my green out, see what I think of it. Just put a little green around here. And presto, my flower's done, my earring's done. And again, you can take it all the way down to that little itty bitty size. Just do the same thing. Dot of purple in the middle, just make it a small dot. Yellow. Red. and green. Hope you enjoyed our tutorial today. As always, please like and subscribe so that we can continue to bring you new videos and you'll get alerted when there's new videos. Also, let me know if you have any questions and I will list the supplies below. Thank you.